Hey guys, Steven here from Redolescence, and welcome back to another fragrance review, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. It means a lot to me. And in this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at one of the more recent Tom Ford private blends. This one actually came out a couple years ago in 2013, and it's an exclusive to the city of London, and it goes by the name London. So here's the bottle, once again, 2013 release. And before I start the review, I just want to give a huge shout out to my friend Augie. Augie, thank you so much for letting me get my nose on this. I really do appreciate it. I wouldn't be making this review if it weren't for you. So this one, Tom Ford London, is of course named after the city of London, and the reason why is because it was actually made to commemorate the opening of the Sloane Square boutique in its namesake. This one is only available at select stores nationwide, and you could find this one online. I saw a few sellers selling it on eBay and whatnot. So this is part of the standard men's Tom Ford private blend line. So of course you have the standard line, you have the Neroli Portofino line, which is available in the blue bottles. So this one is part of the standard line, and it's still in production. This one is classified as a woody spicy, and next up, let's take a look at the presentation. Now, I only have the bottle for Tom Ford London, so I'm just going to show you a box of another Tom Ford private blend that I have in my collection, so you get a good idea of what it looks like. So this is my box for Tuscan leather, gold sticker here in the front, square sticker information at the bottom. The bottom comes off, it creates a little podium on which the fragrance rests. Some more information on the back, like the ingredients, Tom Ford up at the top, and that's pretty much it as far as the box goes. So here is the bottle. Again, nice looking bottle. Not much personalization other than, you know, it having a different sticker, different name on the front. Tom Ford engraved into the top. I actually like this color combination with the black and the gold, even though I also like the Neroli Portofino line as well. On this one, there's nothing on the bottom. With my other Tom Fords, I have gotten, you know, like a sticker on the bottom and whatnot. Cap comes off. This one gives you a great distribution, and I think it sprays out enough juice relative to how it smells. You don't want to over apply with this one. And that was the presentation for London by Tom Ford. One of my subscribers, King, writes, "This is a nice scent, smoky, sweet, and spicy. It's pleasant and very complex, but it becomes a skin scent after 4 or 5 hours. I love it." Ron writes, "I have never been to London, but in my view, it was a great representation of the city upon the first application from a decant. Heavy spices and smokiness reminded me of the different cultures that make up London city. Very well done by Tom Ford in my opinion. I am really happy to have this one in my collection." Ken writes, "This is a nice spicy scent with some smoke and skankiness. I actually really like the dry down, but the longevity and performance is really lacking with this one." And lastly, Eddie concludes by writing, "This is a very nice scent. A little smoky, spicy with some skankiness, somewhat complex. Longevity and performance is great on me. 8+ hours. Very underrated fragrance in my opinion. I guess it's a love or hate type of a scent." Tom Ford's London is elegant yet urbane. It has a modern sophistication to it, and this is by all means a super spicy scent. So I have to disclose that right away. Now, I agree with what a lot of my subscribers said about the performance issues and everything, but I think this one, because of its composition and because of how bold and potent it is in its spicy appeal, I actually like the fact that it's not beast mode projection and longevity. Now, this is a very spicy scent, so right off the bat, right away, you're going to be greeted with saffron and black pepper and cumin and a lot of spices thrown into the mix there. But I do want to touch base upon each individual one so you have an idea of kind of what role they play in the composition. With that saffron note, one thing that I do have to say is if you're familiar with Imaginary Authors, An Air of Despair, you're familiar with Byredo's Black Saffron, it doesn't necessarily have an airy, wispy culinary quality as much as it has a leathery quality. And that's exactly what's happening in here. So there is a lot of saffron, but it almost kind of has like a leathery quality, and at times it's reminiscent of Amouage's Epic Man. Hate to drop that as an obscure frame of reference, but it's really the closest comparison that I can make. This one actually also reminds me of another Amouage. It reminds me of Fate Man by Amouage because of that cumin immortelle. Even though this one doesn't really have immortelle, it does have a lot of cumin, and it doesn't smell similar to Rose 31. I know a lot of people might want to compare it to that scent. It actually, this one smells a lot like something that Amouage would put out, and I think the blend of notes is just fantastic. I think this is a great scent, except it's just too daring, you know, it's too polarizing of a scent. The reason I say that is because in addition to having all those other ingredients that wouldn't necessarily cater to the personal preferences of many, This one does deviate from other Tom Ford private blends, and that's one thing that I've always loved about the Tom Ford private blend line, is that there's something for everyone. You know what I mean? If you want to smell like tobacco and vanilla, you have tobacco vanille, leather-based Tuscan leather. If you want to smell sweet, I don't know, Noir de Noir, right? With that chocolate patchouli feel in the dry down. But the thing with this one is that I can see somebody saying, I would love to smell like tobacco and vanilla. So tobacco vanille is your thing. I would love to smell like leather and berry. Tuscan leather is your thing. I would love to smell like roses and chocolate. Noir de Noir is your thing. I don't think there's somebody out there who would say, I would love to smell like cumin and saffron. You know what I mean? So I think this one it's a great scent. It's just that I think the clientele for it is a little bit limited. So if you're into spicy scents, this one would totally be your thing. Now, I do think that there are some other polarizing notes in this scent. In the dry down, you get a little bit of jasmine. I actually got a lot of jasmine right off the top, and then it very quickly takes a back seat, which is a good thing in the case of this scent, because it's a very indolic jasmine. It kind of has that fecal, animalistic, skanky quality about it. So if you're familiar with Thierry Mugler's Alien, it's very similar to that. It's also very similar to Al-Khatt by Xerjoff. That one also has that animalistic, fecal jasmine note. So that's really what you get in here with this undertone of musk. And you also have this prominent incense note, olibanum resin, so frankincense to be precise, which kind of envelops the entire composition. You smell it all throughout the fragrance. So just to recap, in the opening you get a very bright indolic jasmine, takes a back seat, and then you're greeted with spices and incense. The incense maintains its linearity. You get it throughout the entire longevity of the scent. The spices do start to tone down. Longevity on this one is about 4 to 5 hours, so it doesn't last a long time, and it doesn't project very well either. But given its compositional nature, you don't really want this one to envelop a room or jump up and scream off your skin. I want that with Mandarino di Amalfi. I want that with Costa Azzurra. I want that with Neroli Portofino, because I know they're fresh and inviting and people are going to love it. This one is definitely a challenging one. So I'm going to conclude by saying that the compliment factor is a little bit low on this one. The uniqueness is incredibly high. The versatility is also low, but this is one of those fragrances that you wear more for yourself than anyone else. Last up, we have the rating. First up, we have uniqueness and overall smell, and this is a very unique scent. Again, it stands out among other Tom Ford private blends in the line, so it does something different and it caters to a different crowd. The only thing is that it does have a lot of polarizing ingredients in here, like the oud, which is a very inconspicuous oud. You don't really get too much of it, but it's in there. The saffron, the cumin, which kind of has that musty smell, the musk, the indolic jasmine. So you have a lot of notes in here that are not going to appeal to the olfactory senses of everyone, but if you're into strange, unique, different scents that will make you stand out among other people, you might as well go ahead and check this one out. As far as longevity, it's below average. I get about 4 to 5 hours. It is an eau de parfum, but again, you know, with this compositional nature, you don't really want it to envelop a room. Projection is also below average. I get about maybe an hour to an hour and a half of projection. Irradiates within an arm's length, and then it starts to sit closer to the skin at about the 3-hour mark. But again, same thing that I said for longevity. You don't want it to shout. Versatility on this one is also pretty low as well. This is a formal type of a scent, so I would definitely wear this in a suit and tie, just because it is so different and it's so unique, and it will make you stand out. And of course, when you're dressed your best, you also want to smell your best, right? You want to really stand out. But again, you know, it's just the notes that are in here kind of compromise the versatility a little bit. So I wouldn't wear this one casually because of the price point and the exclusivity. I wouldn't wear this on a night out, on a date or a party or something like that, because you're putting yourself at risk of the person with whom you're going to this event not liking it on you. And then I wouldn't wear this one in the hotter weather. Even though the performance would kind of allow it to happen, I would more be likely to wear this one in the colder weather, just because it sort of evokes that feeling to it. And older, like 30 and up, I would definitely recommend that, not for like a college student, definitely not a high school student. And then last up, we have the presentation. I think it's a great presentation. It's not a Killian or an Amouage, but I love the leather box in which it comes. I like the, you know, the slight personalization. I know it's not like an Amouage where each bottle is a different color. The Swarovski crystal is a different color. This one is just different label on each one, but I do like how they deviate from the colors of the boxes among the different collections. And if I had to give this fragrance a rating overall, I would give London by Tom Ford a 7 out of 10. I personally like this one. It's not the first Tom Ford private blend that I would recommend. It is one of the most polarizing Tom Ford private blends. Even when you think about Tom Ford's Tuscan leather, a lot of people say, oh, I don't really like this one. It smells like an ashtray. And some people say, this is the most amazing smell I've ever smelled in my life. I think this one is even more polarizing than Tuscan leather and some of the other Tom Ford private blends, but it's definitely a great one to get your nose on. And if you're a fan of spicy scents, this one could be a holy grail for you. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. That was my review on the exclusive London by Tom Ford. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to rate and subscribe for future videos. So again everyone, thank you so much for watching. This has been Steven with another fragrance review from Redolessence. We'll see you soon.